When they tied it up, I knew they were dead. It felt like they were dead. Like, I thought they played really well in the game. I thought they had a lot of energy. It was good to have Marchand back. I thought he was good in the game. But their inability, again, to clear pucks at times. And with a freaking under 2 minutes left, get out of the goalie's damn way. To lose the way the goal went in comparative to how many really good shots they had on him that he stopped. And I'm not putting that on Swayman. But like, it's a kick in the nuts. It felt like a kick in the nuts. They should have advanced. That team was better.
Mm-hmm.
You have them at home like that, Game 6. And you said it Friday. Game 6 is harder than Game 7.
Absolutely.
They had many opportunities to win that game. How many guys missed shots? How much Pasternak missed? They had legitimate opportunities to score in that game. And they couldn't. I don't know what it was. Like, you squeezing it again? But damn it. There should be a Game 7. There should have been a Game 7. Now, I'm not saying they should have advanced, but they should have advanced. They played well enough, I thought, to get to Game 7. And the way that one ended, it wasn't like it's a 2-on-1 freaking breakaway, you know? Or you can't kill a penalty. They're not on the power play.
Yeah, listen.
It just sucked.
The Bruins' problem
the way you lost
in this series was a lack of scoring. Now, that's oversimplifying it because it's a couple of things. One was they weren't generating chances over long stretches in the middle of the series. And when they got to the end, like they did on Friday night, they had opportunities. Right?
They did.
They had chances. They actually created 16 high-danger scoring chances by the metrics, right?
I like that, yeah.
They're only able to finish on one of them against a goalie who I think is less than stellar. And so if it wasn't a lack of generating opportunities, it was a lack of finishing. And they were outshot in the series. They didn't create as many opportunities for themselves as they needed. They couldn't put the puck in the net. It was a thing that was going to sink them in this series from the start. It was a thing that was going to eventually sink them in these playoffs. You can't score 2 or fewer goals 5 straight games and expect to push this to 7 or have a comeback and get out of this series. And they were not the better team. Florida was the better team. We knew that going in.
Yeah.
The way it ended, though, sucked.
That's...
What a heartbreaking way to go out.
It never ends in a good way. We've talked about this.
No, but the thing I can't shake from the end of this is that Swayman didn't deserve that. He took that hard. You could tell. You could tell on the ice when it happened. You could certainly tell on the ice after the game had come to an end.
It was the look he gave him like, you're kidding me, right? 2 minutes later, you're going to stand there in front of me. Yeah. I can't see.
Not only that, though, I mean... That puck had eyes, man.
Well, it's fluky as hell.
Crazy.
The legs, yeah,
right?
like,
I mean, so I don't think it was a bad, awful screen or it was bad play by Swim. None of that. I don't think any of that applies. I think it's one of those like fluky. Oh my God!
He stops.
How did that puck find its way in?
He stops 19 of 20 of those.
You know why? You just put the puck on net, and that happens. That's what happens when you. Again, was that one of those quality chances?
No.
By definition of Don Sweeney?
No.
Probably not. But look what happens when you just continue to throw the puck on net. Things happen. The puck finds its way in. And it did on that one. And Swayman thought it was, it just from his body language, you're thinking, oh, God, Swayman thinks this is like on him. He thinks it's his fault because he typically will stop that. Right? He's just so good. He took it hard. And I feel bad for him. I feel sad for Jeremy Swayman for the way this came to an end because he was so good and he helped his team immensely in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And to have it come to an end like that, that's going to sit and just, I don't know, take up real estate in his brain for the entire offseason.
That should motivate him. That should make him want to work. But you bring up Swayman, and I agree with you on this point. Like, going into it, we like Swayman. We knew he was good, but we had the whole goalie debate of should he go 1-3-5-7 in a rotation. I feel so much better about Swayman coming out of this, even after defeat. Like, he's your goalie of the future, and he's going to get paid like it. Just get over it, get ready for it. He's your guy moving forward. Like, he proved he could hang, that this is his team, that I'm your goalie on an every night basis. Yeah, I'll need a blow here and there, but I'm your guy going forward. There's no debate.
The Panthers dominated the last couple of periods of this game,
Yeah.
and it just would have been better if they had scored earlier.
You came out ready
I
to
would have
go.
felt better if they had scored with,
Right.
if they had scored 3 minutes into the third period, I would feel better about it. It wouldn't be as heartbreaking. It wouldn't be
Oh
as bad, even if it were the same exact goal.
But even when you pulled the goalie, like the chance McAvoy had down underneath, there was a chance where two were stuffed, and I got off the couch. I thought it got in, and it was left of the net. Like you almost had better legitimate chances to score with your goalie pulled in desperation because, that point you're letting everything fly, and you're just busting your ass to get to the net. They had two legitimate chances there at the end where I held my breath. I'm like, you thought that sucker was going to give one up, and he didn't. And that stupid handshake line. I'm not a fan of that. You guys hate each other the whole series. You talk about hurting people, taking your guy out, this guy out. And you shake hands. Oh, hey, great series. Thanks. A lot of respect for you. Now you're a hell of a goalie. Jackasses. I want to see a fight right there. I like Lucic. I'm gonna F you. I'm gonna beat your effing head in. Like, give me that in the goal line, in the handshake line. Need some of that, even though it's not gonna happen. Here we are. So, yay. I wanted the Rangers. I wanted the Knicks. I wanted to advance. I didn't get any of it either. Yuck. How about that offseason, huh?
How about it? Cue up the music again, T-Bone. Hit it again.
God,
Have it ready.
hate that song.
Have it ready. Let me ask this question.
What?
Was this a successful year for the Bruins?
Yes.
Yep.
I don't pause. Yes. I think they even know that. Like last year, it's like pull the rug out from under me, punch me in the nuts. Like we choked. No, expectations, where this team was, the lack of cap room, the players that you lost, the playoff players that you lost. And you went further than they did, and you took them to Game 6 with some of the injuries you had and some of the questions. Yeah. Successful year to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just go back to where we were when we were talking about this team last July, if we could. If we could go back to last July after the Bruins had choked and had fallen apart in the playoffs, and you eventually found out that Krejci was done and that Bergeron was done. And then the Bruins go out in free agency and they sign Milan Lucic for 1 year and $1 million. They go out and sign Van Riemsdyk for 1 year and $1 million. They go out and get Kevin Shattenkirk for a year and $1 million. They sign Morgan Geekie, right? I mean, you look at those signings last July and you say, oh, God, this team is so effed. They are just trying to fill out a roster with old guys at $1 million a year. What's happening with this team?
I don't know. And I want to thank Ty Anderson for coming in with us here on a weekly basis throughout this stretch here. But I remember him being on there. I don't know which show it was. Maybe, I don't think it was Felger and Maz. It may have been Fred and Friends. When he said, you cannot fill out a team right now. If there's a game tomorrow, you can't compete because monetarily you cannot fill out a team. He said they're in trouble.
Patrick Brown got signed. He didn't even make it out of training camp.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they had all these signings that just you looked at and you were so unimpressed with, and you knew that it was a result of their cap situation, how they had pushed money into this year from last, how they just were going all out in 2023, and what did that mean for 2024? Big step back.
Traded Taylor Hall.
That too.
Yeah.
Another
Cleared up the $6 million.
a deduction. Unable to move one of the goaltenders. They couldn't move Marc. And so I just think you go back to that and think of your expectations then. They obviously changed your expectations when the season began. And they were hot out of the gate. And they got off to a great start. And I think they were playing over what they were as a roster. And by the end, I think their points total didn't truly represent the talent on the roster, that they had sort of overachieved in the regular season. And I thought a fair expectation for them at that point, again, changing expectations, was get out of the first round. You got a good matchup against Toronto, get out of the first round. They did it, but I also think, despite all of our problems with them in this series with Florida and all the critiques of not being able to clear the puck or not being able to generate enough chances, this was not a blowout. This was not a lopsided series. They were in every single game. They competed against a team that they didn't compete against last year, really.
Fair.
They competed here. And they came out on the wrong end of it, but I think that was the expectation. So getting through a round and competing in the second series against a good Florida team, I think it's a good year for them. Now, I don't know what that means for next year or what this roster looks like, and we'll certainly get into it.
Yeah,
but on the whole, I think it'd be really hard to say you're disappointed with the end result, big picture of this Bruins team this year.
That would not be fair to do that, to categorize it any other way. And we've poked fun at their coach throughout this series, and he's a bit of a dick and sort of embellishes some things. But like what he said after the game, I would pay to watch these two teams play hockey every day because of the high-end skill scoring chances that are generated and also the violence that both teams play with. And that mixture just makes you want to watch these two teams play. Can't do it. They die. They wear each other out. But he was right. Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here.
For more Bruins analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.